everyone, it's Hannah here from Hand Jam Crochet, and today I'm going to do a really quick tutorial about how to do the ruffle stitch with the hopes of giving you inspiration to make something like this necklace that I've made. It's literally from 2 rows of ruffle stitch that you then join around the other side. So I'm going to show you how to do it in this much thicker worsted weight yarn, but I would recommend using for things like jewellery, I would recommend using much finer yarn, so perhaps a fingering of 4-ply yarn and the hook that's appropriate for the yarn that you choose. But here I've got some worsted weight wonder yarn from Furls, and I've got a 5.5mm crochet hook, I want to say it is. So we'll use those for this tutorial. So let's get going. So to begin with, what we need to do is make a slip knot, and then you're going to chain any number of chains. So if you've got a particular necklace in mind or something in mind that you want it to be the width of, then just work a chain that then kind of measures about that right size. So it feels strange not having a number to go towards. Anyway, there we go. There's a number of chains. And then when we've made that chain, you're going to work a double crochet, so a US double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and there's our 4th. So a double crochet in there, and then a double crochet in the rest of the stitches along. Okay, so now we have a row of double crochet stitches and we have turned. So what we're now going to do is the next row we're going to work into the back loop only. So if you turn your work onto its end, you're going to see a front loop of your stitch and a back loop of your stitch. And so we're always going to go into the back loop here for this row. And we're going to begin by chaining 3. And then we're going to work 4 double crochet into the back loop only of that first stitch. So all 4 go into that same stitch. Just like that. So then what we're going to do is the next stitch, the back loop of that next stitch, is also going to get 5 double crochets into it. And then the same for the next one, back loop only, 5 in that. So basically what we're doing is just squishing a whole load of extra stitches in this row. So in the back loop of each, we're going to do 5 double crochet. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you just carry on doing that all the way along. And don't worry at this point, because it will be all kinds of wibbly wobbly, and that's fine, absolutely fine. In fact, you want it to be like that. So here we are at the end of that row, and goodness me, look how that looks, goodness me. What we're going to now do is you're going to find this very first row that you had here, and you're going to find that it still has unworked loops, because what we want to do now is push this ruffle down, and we're now going to work into these loops that we have left over from our first row. So what we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch into that first one that we have there, and then we're going to chain 3. That's going to be a stitch for us. It's going to be hidden, so you don't need to worry about how that looks. And then we're going to work a double crochet into each stitch along. So these are the remaining loops of the stitch from row 1. So we're just working another row of double crochet stitches, and you're pushing that ruffle down to the front, because this is now going to be the right side of your work. This is where your ruffle is going to sit. And there we are at the end of that row, and you can see that it's pushed the ruffle all the way forwards for us. So now we're going to just repeat what we've just done. So you're going to work into the back loop only of this row again. We're going to chain 3 to begin with, and then you're going to begin your first ruffle, because then that will make sure that it's on the front of your work. So a chain 3 and then 4 double crochet in the first stitch, and then 5 double crochet in each stitch along. Although if you want your ruffles to be more ruffly, add more stitches. If you want them to be less ruffly, take stitches away. And you can do some really cool things as well. You can add more stitches to one end than the other. You can change the height of your stitches. You know, these are obviously double crochet stitches, but you could do half double crochets. You could do treble crochets even, to change the waviness of your stitches. Like, there's loads of possibilities with this stitch, and you can make it look really, really something. So just go for it with this ruffle row, adding 5 double crochet to the back loop only of each, all the way along. And then you've got everything that you need to know for the whole thing. You can do this as many times as you like until you're ready to join it together over something or sew it onto something, whatever you want, however you want to use this. You know all the things that you need to do now. And there we have another row of ruffles, and you can see how they just are lovely, and they sit inside each other, outside each other, and they create their own organic shape. And so this is all I did before I then joined around this necklace. And so if you're going to choose to do that, then what I would then do is, or what I did was, slip stitch into the remaining loop of the rows 2 below, just like you would if you were carrying on here, but then also slip stitch into your foundation chain to join the 2, and then pop, whilst you've got that ready there, lay your necklace or whatever it is you're going to wrap it around, slot it through here, and then join and encase the necklace. That is literally all I did, and just run a slip stitch all the way along here. Matching stitch for stitch, and then the join, because it's so curly, the join will be completely hidden and you won't know where it starts and where it ends. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick tutorial to give you an idea of what to do with the ruffle stitch. Do come and find me and show me what you make. I'm Hand Jan Crochet on all the platforms you'd expect to find me. As I say, there is a more in-depth actual written pattern on the blog, so go and find that now. I'll put the link in the description. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you again soon.